Kentucky opener for archery whitetail today. And so we just climbed in the blind. We're kind of getting set up. And we are excited because there's multiple hitless deer that's going to be hitting this spot coming through this area, hopefully within the next hour. We've got 3 other guys out hunting, and we're hoping that we can connect. I'm in, again, West Kentucky. I'm hunting with a great friend of mine, Kurt Phelps, at his ranch, Ridge Dogs Ranch. And so Kurt is out hunting, Tim is out hunting, Kara's out hunting, and so there's multiple hitless deer that are daylighting right now. And so fingers crossed, we are praying that we can get some of these deer down tonight. And if we do, we're going to bring in the tracking dog, and we're going to bring these deer to the house. We are excited, so we're going to zip up. Tune in with us. Not sure who it is. He was kind of quartering away. Tucked it in right behind his shoulder there. He had no idea that I was there. What just happened?
We'll trick you. I was able to slow it down right there as it impacted.
Yeah, see that looked pretty good because it's more mid-body going forward. You know, liver, you know, or maybe gut, liver in the lung.
See, right there.
Well, we just gave this deer a few hours, about 3 now, I think. We reviewed the footage. The deer had been shot a little bit back, kind of quartered away. It's kind of a tricky one. We're not for sure if it went gut, liver, into the lungs, out. Well, we know it didn't go out. Maybe it possibly hit the opposite side shoulder. So it's kind of a tricky one, not knowing for sure. Once we get out there, we're going to be kind of looking for the clues and evidence that kind of help us to determine that shot. If the deer is hitting the shoulder, a lot of times the blood's going to run down. It would be the front left shoulder and leave like a blood stamp in its hoof print. So if we see that, we know we got an idea that we have a shoulder shot deer, and we might approach it a little different. If it is hit back, we see any sign of gut, liver, there's a good chance we may pull out and just give the deer more time and come back in the morning. But anyhow, stay tuned and we'll see what happens.
Oh, Hank's ready for business.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We tracked one, I think.
Oh, did we?
I feel like it. Me and Corey or me and somebody. Check it out, Hank.
Got blood here. There's more coming off the leg here.
Go back and reset. If he don't hit on anything else but where we went, then I'm pretty confident everything's right. And we found, get your phone, JC.
Oh, yeah.
We found another drop of blood right outside of a bedding area that was wet.
I gotta.
And the best I could tell, oh yeah, it didn't come off Hank, so I'm pretty confident it's right. But they say, you know, if some reason he bumped his nose or something and there's a drop of blood, because we couldn't find any more. And if that came off Hank, then we're just chasing it, you know, you're all messed up there. We're tracking a healthy deer, but I want to go back, reset, and make sure we don't see something different. Okay. Just to be sure before we keep going this way. I don't know. I mean, it's been 2 specks of blood so far, so maybe we'll reset up there and find out it came off Hank or something like that. So we'll see. He's pretty excited.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It is night number 2, and I'm back in the blind. Yesterday was an emotional roller coaster. So we had that Big 10 come in right at 7:15, and he came in super nervous. He was, I mean, jumpy, looking around like crazy. And from the camera pictures I've seen of him, he would come in for a little while and then he would leave. He wouldn't hang around. This deer wouldn't hang around very long, while the other ones would hang around for half an hour to an hour. We shot, the deer was about 22 yards, and when he shot, that buck dropped about 8 inches. And so of course I'm holding right in the middle of, and not even thinking about him dropping at, you know, that kind of a distance. But man, he did. He ducked and began to kind of turn a little bit, and that arrow hit him forward. And we've came to a very solid conclusion that that deer is alive and is going to live, which is a heartbreak. I mean, I'm super thankful it's, you know, it's going to live and all that, but boy, was it hard for me to deal with, because that was the biggest deer I've ever seen. That was the biggest deer I've ever shot at, and to have it, you know, walk away, not in the bed of my truck, was really, really tough. So anyway, we're back out here tonight, and it's about 4 o'clock. They come in pretty well like clockwork, just right after 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30, when it starts getting dusky. So fingers crossed, we're going to try to get it done tonight.
Well, it's October 31st. The rut is gearing up. The bucks are beginning to chase. Man, I'm seeing all sorts of big deer go down. I'm headed back to Princeton, Kentucky, but not to hunt. About a week and a half ago, actually, I got a text message from my buddy Kurt, and all it was a picture of a skull, and that was it. It was a deer skull, and that was it. And so I began looking closer, and I could tell with the characteristics of that skull, I'm like, that's my buck. That's the buck I shot, you know, back at the very beginning of archery season. And so instantly I began to text him back. I was like, hey, is that my deer? Did somebody find it? And long story short, a farmer found that deer on the next property over, and it had died out in the middle of a bean field, and my arrow was still in the deer. And so the landowner took a picture of it, sent that picture to Kurt sent it to me, and confirmed that yes, that was the same deer. And so it's been about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, and I've been trying to make my way up there to go get that deer. I'm excited, man. I'm going to tell you, I've had some sleepless nights and some just gut-wrenching, you know, grief over it, because it's like that was one of my biggest deer that I've ever shot to date, and with a bow and in velvet. And so, man, it was just a bummer not to find that thing, and still it's a bummer not to recover it and to be able to actually harvest it and get that meat from it to be able to feed my family. But I'm glad to bring a conclusion to this hunt and to be able to have some closure with this deer. So tune in with me here in just a minute. We're going to be pulling up to Kurt's, and we will be getting our hands wrapped around those antlers. We're back again, Ridge Dog Ranch, and this is a big day because you can see here, high cost. The buck that we were after, that we shot on opening day, Kurt, we've got him.
We got him.
Kind of a long story, but we're going to kind of trim that down. You've already seen the hunt, you've seen the shot. We called in the dog with Lance Brantley, and Lance Brantley, his business is called On Track Big Game Recovery. I mean, that dog, Hank, is just a machine.
I've had Lance out here a couple of times. In fact, he's been out here twice this year. He recovered deer for Riley Green and also myself, and we found both of those deer immediately. But when we got on Clint's track, the deer kept jumping, running, and staying ahead. And at that point, Lance came up to me and told me, hey, this deer's still alive, and it was getting ready to go on my neighbor's property. And I felt like with my neighbors coming in to hunt, they were traveling a long way, that if we went over there, we'd mess their hunting up. And so what did I do at that point?
At that point, Kurt had to make the hard call and say, hey, we need to pull off this deer, and we need to give him some time. We don't want to bump him any further off the property line, and we don't want to go tracking onto the neighbors.
Here we are, Kevin Chambliss, which is one of the better hunters in this area. He called me, and I appreciate it, Kevin, for you calling me. He said the guy on the combine spotted this deer and contacted him, and here we are.
Yeah, and it's a great day because, you know, bow hunting, Kurt, we both know this, bow hunting has its highs and bow hunting has its lows. And when high cost came out and I drew that bow back and I let that arrow go, I was up here.
That's right.
And as the evening wore on and we gave this deer 3 to 4 hours and we began to track this thing, and the blood was just minimal, and we had to pull off the deer, man, I was down here.
And here we are.
And yet here we are, you know. And Kurt, man, I have nothing but thanks to send your way, because it is such an honor and a privilege to get to hunt with you. And I appreciate it, and looking forward to the next time.
All right. Hurry up.